It's so dark in here. Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Pokemon 3DS. Last episode we got started here on Rock Tunnel and we got some very interesting and good captures here in the last episode. I mean, we got a free Poliwag, which we're probably not going to be using. We got Nick the Magikarp here, which we're probably going to be using because it's about to evolve into a Gyarados, which is going to be very good for us. And then we also got Thanos the Abra. So go back and watch that because that was wild, honestly. I was very happy to get that Pokemon on my team. We're not using it right now. We're going to be using it starting next episode because we don't need Z's anymore when we have Thanos. Who needs to sleep when you can Snap? Could have also called it Snap. Probably should have called it Snap, actually, rather than Thanos, because it's a little bit more like... I don't want to say it's a more subtle name, because it's just not. Neither of them are very wild. That gives no experience whatsoever. So just run away from the Magikarp. That's what we're doing here today. Probably should have bought a couple of repels as well, because there's going to be a lot of Magikarp, like, splashing around here. And I'm not going to fight them all. They only get like 20 experience per stuff. Per stuff. Is that what I'm looking for? Per piece. Per piece. A piece. I don't know. Like I said last episode, talk hard, me caveman. Rattata, there's a lot of bad wild Pokemon in here, which I actually don't mind, because there's probably going to be a fair amount of good trainer Pokemon in here, which I have to face. Maybe there's not. Maybe everything gets randomized into... I mean, it's level 25, but it's also a Weedle. I think I can take a Weedle. If this Weedle even gets destroyed down to half health, poison not included, I'll consider that a loss for the entire series. You did 3 HP damage to me. That's everything you could do before you died. You are an embarrassment even to other Weedles, and Weedles are an embarrassment to other Pokemon. That's how bad you are. Okay, so there's actually interesting wild Pokemon here, and I would not particularly have minded an Executor, because I don't think I have a Grass type still. I still don't have a Grass type, I don't think. So that would have been kind of nice to have, but it would have been another Psychic type. How many? I think we've run into every Psychic type in the game so far. We've run into Mewtwo. We haven't run into a what? What? That's what? What the actual fuck? You can't do this to me. You can't do this to me. How? Oh my god. I should outspeed. This should do a lot of damage. You used Swift, but you were slower than me. That's fun. Wait, what? Wait, what? I'm gonna Google that real quickly. If that is a glitch or a bug, where Swift or moves can hit you while you're underground, I'm not counting that as a death. Okay, apparently that is a design thing. It's designed to be able to hit things that are either using Fly, Dive in later generations I suppose, or Dig when they're semi-invulnerable. So I didn't know there was a thing. I couldn't have predicted it either way, but that's weird. It's real weird. Okay, so we're facing a Mewtwo again. It's not the first time we've done this, so I think we can... Please. Okay, Leah, but that's fine. I'm a little bit disturbed by the fact that I mentioned Mewtwo and then Mewtwo just shows up. Do I have a superpower? Because if I do, I'm going to have to remember that superpower for later generations where I can actually like capture Mewtwo a little bit easier. Because in Gen 1 it's just literally not possible to capture it in a Pokeball, I don't think. Please hit 5 Fury attacks with like 5 critical hits, I very much need to get rid of this Mewtwo. That's only 2. It's about 3 less than I required. I mean, Z's resists confusion, but also only deals major damage with confusion, so this is going to be... You also have Swift. Swift is more of the issue here right now. Oh, you take that very well. I could put him to sleep. How much is confusion going to do? It's probably still going to do a decent amount of damage. Okay, that was a critical hit. Never mind, that wasn't too bad. I think Mewtwo is done. If your second Pokemon is like any other legendary, including pseudo-legendary Dragonite, I'm not going to be happy. Also, this surely is enough experience to... No. Okay, so your second Pokemon is Jigglypuff. I think I can take a Jigglypuff after taking out a Mewtwo. I feel like I'm fine. The issue is I can't use Mewtwo again for the thumbnail, so what am I going to use for the thumbnail here, for fuck's sake? Let's go into Bith because it still has HP. That Mewtwo did a number on my team, I'm not gonna lie. Like, to the point where I might consider actually like going back to the Pokemon Center and healing up. Before, and putting away Herald because Herald is dead. I would use Dig on Herald. Actually, with Herald being... I mean, if Jigglypuff dies, I don't mind getting a little bit of recoil damage. I was going to say, are you going to disable my struggle? Because I don't know what happens in that case. Not having the ground type move actually like damages my coverage by quite a bit. So I think it might be a good idea to go get Laura because of Dig. But honestly, right now, let's just use a couple of potions and keep going. Won't have any effect. Thank you for not actually using it, because I'm kind of low on potions. I'm going to have to switch to super potions, but we're going to be able to boil lemonade and fresh water soon, which are the best HP per price ratio, I do believe. We've faced the most difficult thing this episode. We're not going to run into another Mewtwo. Please, don't prove me wrong. Game, don't prove me wrong here. Just don't give me another Mewtwo. If you give me another Mewtwo, I might cry. I might actually cry. Because this series so far, I think we've run into 3 Mewtwo's and 1 Mew. Why do you mock me? Why do you feel the need to mock me? I don't like that. Also... don't have a water type anymore. Well, not a good one anyway. So I guess Destroyer it is, because everything else on my team either can't do much or just dies to it. I guess Z's wouldn't like be very weak to it per se, but Fury Attack, by the way, better than Pack in most situations it seems. So, especially when it hits more than 2 times. Pack wouldn't have done that much damage. Question is, okay, now it's definitely... I'm going to require at least 3 attacks again in order to... Probably 4, actually, looking at that. Or you can just hit twice. Even now, 2 attacks should be... Like, even after 3 growls, 2 attacks should be able to kill a Dugtrio. Hopefully. Okay, Dugtrio wasn't an issue. Kind of was an issue, not gonna lie. Nick grew to level 20, so Nick is now going to be actually very powerful after this battle. Let's go into Z's. Also, I just got a message. I got a message from... Let's see, is it important? That is very important. One of my friends. Sorry for being a bit of an asshole and looking at my texts, but one of my friends sent me a screenshot of a push notification he got on his phone. And it said... let me pull it up real quickly so that I can actually... translate it live. Your wish has been granted. Watch the new live-action version of the Disney classic Aladdin. I don't think anybody asked for that. I mean, nobody, like, in their right mind asked for that. I think I haven't seen it, but what I've seen from it and how I've heard people talk about the live-action Aladdin, it's actually a decent alternative to the original animated movie. The Lion King seems to like just be strictly a worse version. So if you're going to watch one of the recent live action things, which the Lion King isn't even live action, right? It's just better animation. It's just CG now. Don't call it live action just because it looks real live. There's not a single pixel in that entire, like, I don't know, 2-hour movie or something that isn't generated by a computer. There was no physical camera used to make that film. Don't fucking call it live action. I'm not even talking about like the fans here, and maybe I am. But like the way Disney pushed this into the world, it was like a live action version of the movie, and it just literally isn't. It just literally is not a... Okay, that happened. Also, I think I'm going the wrong direction. Fucking surprising. Nobody. Sorry for hitting the microphone there. Anyhow, so that is that's my story on this. I'm battling somebody in a room I don't even have to be in, and you're gonna have another Mewtwo. You know what? Fucking close enough. For me, that's close enough. Also, welcome to your, like, potential original evolutionary line here. I know that's not actually the case. I fucking hate you and your entire family. I wanna murder you all. And I'll start with you, using bite. So, I can't wait until I get trash. I think I get trash at like level 24, 25-ish. It's a risky move because you do get confused and you get locked into it, but it's so strong, especially with... Actually, that's something I can deal with. Especially with something like the physical attack that Gyarados has. Trash is a real good move. It's probably the best move he gets in this game, honestly. Maybe Hyper Beam, because that's also physical in this generation. It does get Hyper Beam, at least through TM, I imagine. Maybe it gets it through a level up, I don't fucking know. Do I look like an expert on this stuff? No! What else would he get? I mean, there's not a lot of like good moves it gets, I don't think. I hate it. I fucking hate everything. And everyone should die. Well, I said I was gonna murder your entire family. I wasn't going to like pursue that. But now that you like bring your dad, you don't really leave me much of a choice, do you? I'm just gonna have to kill him now. It's just, I have to. Please hit 5 times because that does pathetic damage. 4 times, enough. 5 times, even better. You're like pre-ability skill link, especially since you only hit twice against that Mewtwo before, which was very not so good for me. So now I'm paralyzed and bound in wrap. That's not a very good combination for me, I don't think. Destroyer might be saying goodbye today as well. We're losing quite a lot of good team members, aren't we? So we might not even make it through Gen 1 after all, just because the game fucking hates me. Please let me get out of your wrap. You already outspat me. You already outspat me. Why would you? That's a critical hit. That means that another hit is going to kill. Okay, so the Dragonite wasn't that big of a deal, after all. The Dragonite was not that big of a deal. The Mewtwo, still kind of pissed about that. There's also a real good chance that I am actually lost at this point, and I'll have to dig myself out of here, because I don't think this leads anywhere. I'm fairly certain this doesn't lead anywhere. Not anywhere I want to go, anyway. And do I have a paralysis heal? I mean, I was trying to get away and you wouldn't let me, and then you forced me away. I'm not saying I'm upset. I'm just saying you should probably just make up... God damn it, there's another trainer there. We might not make it out of this goddamn cave today. For some reason... Oh my god, you have 4 Pokemon. First of which, Pikachu. If there's one thing I'm not going to stay in against with a water flying type, it's a Pikachu. Let's go into Wombo. The issue is I don't want to start next episode, right, with just starting at the start of Rock Tunnel again, when that really doesn't... Well, I just want to finish it today in this episode. That did a lot of damage, holy crap. Pikachu is just weak, is probably the answer there. Dodrio, I think I can take that with Wombo as well. Maybe Wombo is just very strong. No, Pikachu is just very weak. Okay, we got an answer there. And that means that I'm not going to be able to kill you in like one more bite. You give me a crit. Wow! You gave me a crit. Sorry, that was very loud. I didn't mean that to be so loud. Things are going very badly and at the same time, fairly well. And I'm not entirely sure how to feel. I think I'm happy, but I'm also annoyed, but mostly anxious. I'm feeling a lot of things at once. My body can't handle all of these feelings at the same time. It would have been nice to stay in with Bith here, actually, because they're like Electabuzz and Magmar are kind of like rival Pokemon, right? I think Jinx used to be part of that, but then Electabuzz and Magmar both got evolutions, and Jinx was like, nah, I'm good. I don't need no evolution. Probably the reason that it didn't get an evolution is because of like racist perception around it. If that didn't happen, it probably would have gotten an evolution in Gen 4 together with the other two. I imagine, anyway. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is not where I'm supposed to go, but if it's not where I'm supposed to go, I don't know where I am supposed to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to the Pokemon Center here. The moment I escape from this goddamn battle. I mean, if you're not going to let me escape, I'm just going to kill you. I'm fine either way. I mean, you're not going to give me a lot of experience. You have no chance of actually killing me. You live at 1 HP. Because of course you do. You paralyze me. And you're not going to go crit and kill me. You did. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dig. I'm going to go to the Pokemon Center. I'm going to change a couple of things on my team. I'm digging with a dead Pokemon. Yes, get over it. I'm not using it in battle. It's like an HM slave. And well, let's just do it on screen because we're already back to Pokemon Center. Getting back to where we were before, I won't do on screen for what I think would be obvious reasons. Let's change the box to box 12, where all the dead Pokemon are. Probably should have made that box 2. Because you can't press arrow up to go to the other side of the menu. You just can't do that. Harold, you're dead. I'm sorry. You just died. Which means that I have to go back again. You know what? I don't need to do this on screen. I'll see you guys back in the cave. I don't know where in the cave. Probably just somewhere in the cave. But I'll see you guys back in the cave. I think there should be a thing here. But I don't have flash, so I don't know. So we're back in Rock Tunnel here. And I should not use the speed button when I'm on screen. I'm sorry. I use the speed button to get back here as quickly as humanly possible. Because I don't feel like wasting much time here. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any other like routes than the one I'm walking right now. So I might have been on the right track after all. In which case, I just waste a little bit of time, but at least I've got Laura with me now. So that means that I can use dig against things that require to be dug against. It's dug, right? Not digged? It's dug. But dug sounds like just a dude from like Texas. I'm very sorry if that's racist. Just, it really sounds like. I think you go left here. I think you go left. You don't go up. I think. You might go up. But I seem to remember you going left. Yeah, because it doesn't even matter. Because you... Okay, so what I was doing was where I was supposed to go anyway. So I didn't face that Dragonite entirely for nothing. I kind of faced it for nothing. Because there were 2 trainers there and you only had to face one, I think. I faced both. But I think... No. This is... No, it is the one... I'm confused. I just don't know. Do I just go right here? Where do I go? Is really what I want to know. Just where do I go? Because this is the point where it changes from a path to a roam. And I can follow a path in the dark. No problem. I can't find the exit to a room easily in the dark. Is it just that ladder over there? Is it really just that easy? It must be. It must be. This is probably going to be a long episode, by the way. I mean, you guys can see the time the episode is. I can't. I mean, obviously. I'm in the middle of recording it, so I have no idea how long this episode is going to be. But I have just decided on getting back here. My Pokemon Fire Red randomized on Nuzlocke. I did do this in 2 episodes, and that was number 1, cause for a little bit of ridicule, and rightfully so, I would say. And also just annoyance on my part that I didn't want to split that up into 2 episodes. So it's probably... This could be an hour-long episode, for all I know. And if that's the case, I'm... sorry? Or you're welcome, depending... I guess, but I don't know where I'm going, and I think we're roughly at the end time for the episode now. Actually, I don't think we are. I think we're like 20-some minutes in, because I had to cut out some, and last episode, I'm recording these back-to-back, obviously. The last episode had a little bit of, went a little bit overtime as well, so I'm probably going to be fine for another 10 or so minutes, but after that it's going to start being a very long video. And I would prefer not to do that. But I would even more prefer not to split this into 2 episodes. So... I think I'm in the right direction here, because this does seem familiar. I think I go down and then up and then down again, and then I go into the last room, I think. All these Pikachus paralyzing my my lead Pokemon, though. I'm not a huge fan, I must admit. After this episode, I'm definitely going to grind, like, a lot. But the thing is, right, next episode I'm going to get at least 2 new Pokemon. 3 new Pokemon, actually, because there's 2 routes, which I can potentially capture something. There's a chance that I don't capture the things on those routes, admittedly. But then there's also the free Eevee in Celadon City, which... I'm gonna get, and it's gonna be randomized. So let's leave with Destroyer, just because I want to be able to run away. So if I grind now, I'm going to get those Pokemon, and then... But I can't do it all this episode. But then again, there's always going to be a next Pokemon that is going to be obtained in the episode right after I do some grinding. It's just going to be 3 Pokemon in this case, but I'll just grind those after the next recording session, and they'll be ready to go afterwards. I mean, I at this point have enough... I was very, very confused how Nick got so much damage, and then I realized, oh yeah, it sucks. Apparently. It's also a fairly low level, to be fair. At this point I have enough Pokemon to like play around a little bit with things being kept in the box for a couple of episodes and then being brought out once that time comes. I don't need a Pokemon right now. Because I've got 6 Pokemon in my team here, and I've got like throw him back up in the box. And knowing my track record, that's going to change into like only having 2 Pokemon on the team within an episode. Because, again, everything around me just dies when I look at it funny. But there's a chance. There's a chance of me doing well. And things are quickly gaining levels. But it's not the things that I want to gain levels. I mean, I don't mind Z's and Destroyer being a little bit higher level than they already were. I would prefer if the things that don't have high levels, like Laura and Nick, get more levels. Before that, you need to use them, which I'm kind of preventing them from doing because they're weak and they just need a little bit of grinding. Everybody needs a little bit of grinding. After this episode, I'm probably going to do a little bit of grinding. And I think I'm going to bring everybody up to like level 20. Probably just the highest I have on my team at that moment. And that's going to be like level 27 as of right now. Might change it to level 28. Depending on how much I use Z. So I'm going to try to prevent using Zs too much in the rest of this episode. But when I need to, I need to. And that might result in him being level 28. And that meaning that the rest of my team, next episode, is also all going to be level 28. And with my team, I mean everything in the box as well, as I mentioned, because I want to be able to swap them around a little bit easier. And there's the things that need to evolve in the box, and I can't use them before they evolve, really. I can stay with Arcanine here. I mean, Arcanine v Arcanine, but my Arcanine has, it's the same level, but my Arcanine has Dig. Outspeeds yours because I have, like, the Gen 1 equivalent of EVs already. Oh, you survived that. I mean, I'm going to survive this, obviously, because it's only 5 HP damage. And did I really need to use another Dig there? No, I didn't. But I did. And that's funny. Because it wastes time, which I don't have. I need to end this episode as soon as I can. And I think I'm getting close to the end of the cave, right? Because I'm going to use the speed button a little bit. Yeah, that's the ladder that leads me to the last room, I'm pretty sure. I think this room, you just go back and forth. If you just go through the middle, there's a lot of trainer battles. But the trainers are at the very outsides of the room there. If you just walk up to them, you get stopped by when you walk into them. But they'll look in, like, away from the wall towards the other wall. They're not looking up or down. They don't change at all. So you can just zigzag your way down that room. And then there's one last trainer here, and I think when I go south after this rock, I think that is the end of Rock Tunnel. So I think we're fine. You do have a Dugong, which I don't really have much against. Again, an electric type would be such a blessing to have, but I guess we have Z's or Wombo. Let's go for Wombo. Wombo's not been used a lot, but when Wombo has been used, Wombo has proven himself to be worthy. And Growl makes him a little bit less useful, admittedly, that is true. And Dugong just has a shit ton of HP. We need to realise that Dugong just has a ridiculous amount of HP, and that does absolutely fuck all. Can I wrap you? Okay, so I'm just going to switch out, because I don't want Wombo to die as well. Because I just said I'm doing fairly well on the amount of Pokemon I have, and I don't want everything to die right after I say that. See, I'm paying attention to the game. I'm thinking about what I'm doing. I only had one thing die. That was last episode. What's that? Last episode? I think something died this episode. Did Harold die this episode? Harold died this episode. Is Confusion going to do a lot of damage? Just a question. The answer is yes. Yes, it is. But you also have 2 more Pokemon after this, don't you? Could be a Mewtwo. Just saying, could be a Mewtwo. At this point, I wouldn't even be surprised if it was a Mewtwo. Please don't grow to... Actually, if you grow to level 28, I don't even give a crap. Magneton. We can take a Magneton. Especially since you don't have a Levitate yet. I mean, you're not a Steel type yet either. So it's only going to be 1 time super effective, but still. Dig is going to take you out. I'm so happy that I went back to the Pokemon Center and got Laura to dig against things, because it's doing very, very good things at the moment. And it's one-shotting a Magneton, which... love that. I think we're about to face the last Pokemon in Rock Tunnel. And naturally it's a Moltres. Because why wouldn't it be? But, no, really, why wouldn't it be? Why would it be anything but a Moltres? Why would it be a Magikarp? Why would it be a Pidgey? Why would it be a Rattata? All things we have seen in the wild here. Luckily, this one is significantly lower level than the one we faced against Lieutenant Surge. So this should probably too short. Oh, you took that very well. I mean, I took it very well as well, so no bother there. But I'm going to go into Fury Attack, and these legendary Pokemon have defenses. Why am I always hitting twice? I'm very happy that you missed your Fire Spin though, because Fire Spin is a bitch move. I mean, I do hit. The thing is, I either hit twice or I hit 5 times. There's almost no in between. There's almost no times I hit 3 or 4 times, which might actually be like a programming error in Gen 1. I wouldn't be surprised if it's statistically, and like the formula they use actually is more likely to spit out 2 or 5 than 3 or 4. It wouldn't surprise me at all. This is the end of Rock Tunnel. And this is a Max Ether. I don't know why I remember all of these bullshit things. I really don't. So, next episode we're going to be able to capture a couple of more Pokemon, and oh my god, I don't like this song. Nobody likes this song. And then we're going to probably take on the Rocket Hideout, then the gym, then Silsco, then Lavender Town, and by that time, another week will have passed in like real world time. So, until then, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel if you've enjoyed this video. I'm very sorry the end card is going to be not very fun to listen to. Bye.